Hello everybody, welcome back to the Traxion YouTube channel and welcome to week 10 of my Fanatec GT3 track guide series here on iRacing. And as usual, we're going to be doing it in the Porsche 911 GT3R. So week 10 brings us here to Charlotte ROVAL, a really difficult circuit, much more technical than I think people give it credit for, and really easy to overdrive. Now, if you followed my track guides before, you'll know that they are not a place for hot laps. It's a slow, methodical approach to learn the circuit where we talk about my braking markers and my reference points and the little quirks that each circuit has. So, as usual, I'll show you the flying lap in full. Then we'll jump in the car, do a few laps and show you those braking markers and reference points in action. And at the end, we'll talk about pit entry and pit exit if you're going to use this guide for the VRS Sprint Series. So, let's get on track. So here we are then on the main start-finish straight here at Charlotte ROVAL. If you want to call it a straight, it's not much of one to be honest. As usual, I've set the sim time to match the official series. So the date is the 21st of August 2021 and the time in the sim is 3 PM. Just for info, track temperature right now is 44 degrees, which is what it was when I set the flying lap. That's 44 degrees Celsius. Brake bias this week, we've gone for 53%. Baseline on the medium downforce sprint is 54. I've taken it down a little bit, but there are a lot of corners here where we are trail braking, so better to be safe than sorry. We've gone for 53%. Now, Charlotte ROVAL is actually a lot trickier than people give it credit for. It's really technical. There's a couple of places here where it's so easy to overdrive, and I'll talk about those when we go round. So, starting a new lap, we're going to be in third gear. We're going to be on the right-hand side, hugging this wall. Here at Charlotte, the walls are quite consistent, so you can scrape the walls on a flying lap when you're in the race. Don't do it in qualifying, because it will invalidate your lap. But in a race, you're quite capable of scraping the walls just to maximise the track width. So here we're going to be braking round about the 2. We're going to be just braking and trail braking to the apex and letting the car coast round, clip this inside curb. The car will be light here now, and then we're going to be back on the gas all the way out to this outside wall, and then we're going to be turning in before you can actually see the apex of this one. You will have to feather the throttle going around here because you don't want to be flat out, because you don't want the car too far over to the right. We need to get the car back over to the left. So one of the places where it's really easy to overdrive. There's a couple of places where you think, oh, I can go quick around there. But you can't. You've just got to be patient, because one corner flows into the next one. And here, we don't want to be going too crazy around here because we need to set up the next right where we want a good exit. So we need the car over here to the left-hand side. We're going to be in fourth gear at this point. Then down to third, we're going to be braking. Down into third gear, we're going to be just nice and gentle. Trail braking off the throttle, then a little bit of gas in between. Try and get the car as far wide as you can. I don't like to go to the left of this blue line because the track, as you can see, it tapers off and it's off camber there. So try and stay to the right hand side of this blue line. What I like to do here, I like to go down to second. I just feel that this helps with the rotation of the car going round here. So we're off the gas, but then if we're in second, the car will rotate nicely and we can be on the gas fully all the way out to the left hand side. Use all of this on exit, which is perfectly fine. And then we're going to be up to fourth gear. And then this is another tricky section. It's almost 2 stages of braking here. We're going to be taking a little bit of speed off on entry to this right, and then we're going to be off the brakes and then braking hard when the car's in a straight line. So we're in fourth gear, we're going to be going down into third. Just take a little bit of speed off. Open up this corner as much as you can, and then at this point we want to be braking in a straight line. And again, you can use second or third, but I think second helps with rotation of the car. And then nice and tight. Be patient round here. Get the car nice and tight because you want the car over to the right hand side as much as you can. And then up to third. And then you can cut this here. You can cut this, but I don't like to. And this is one of the places where people are going to make mistakes. This is one of the places where people are going to overdrive. Now, you can use all of this track on the right hand side here up to the wall, but it's really difficult to be consistent around there because there are a few bumps. The track does undulate. So as long as you're round about on the blue line or just to the left of it, that's perfectly fine. And here, it's all about being patient. Off the gas, third gear, and we want to be getting as close to this wall as we can. You can't really see it there, but get the car as close as you can. And if you can get it pointing here, then you can get on the gas fully. The car will wash out and it will push up towards the wall. But if you've got the line right, you can keep it pinned all the way around. And up to fourth gear, then up to fifth gear. Hug this blue line on the left, all the way around. We're not going to get up to sixth. Then here, this is another place where you can scrape the car along this wall. And we're going to be braking round about at the 3 or just after. But if you keep it at the 3, it's a nice safe braking marker down to this tricky chicane. So stay to the right all the way down into second gear. What I like to do, I like to cut quite a bit of this one and not as much as the second one because I think it unsettles the car. The car's in the air and you want to get on the gas as early as you can. So cut the first one, try not to cut the second one. Then on the gas fully. You can cut that red mark in there, no problem. Up to fourth gear. Up to fifth gear. So round here for this last chicane. And you want to be positioning your car here and braking just before the blue line here. And you can use the AstroTurf. You can see the curve as it goes around there. You can use the AstroTurf, but don't use too much because you will get off track. So we're going to be braking in a straight line down here, down to third gear. And we're going to be cutting these two, but be careful. You can cut this one, and then cut this one, not so much. So it's the same principle as the other chicane. So cut the first one, try not to cut the second one because you want a good drive out of the turn. And then that's a lap. It's only a short lap here at Charlotte ROVAL. So fourth gear, braking at the 2, down to third gear, let the car just coast into the apex, get on the gas here, let the car run out wide. Again here, we're going to have to feather the throttle just to keep the car on the inside. And just before the bridge, brake down to third gear. Again, don't go over this blue line, down to second gear just to help the car rotate. And then now, we can get on the gas. Use all of this up to fourth gear, then try and take a bit of speed off initially, then brake in a straight line, down to second gear, nice and tight around here. Short shift to third, again, just being really gentle with the throttle. And then try and, there we go, just get as close to the wall as you can. Be careful because it really is easy to hit that when you're at speed. So we'll get the car right up to the right hand side. We're going to be braking at the 3, all the way down into second gear. Cut this one, try not to cut this one so much, then back on the gas. Cut this red paint. Then hug this blue line all the way around. Up to fifth gear. Then we're going to be braking just before the blue line. There we go. So cut this one. Not this one really, if you can help it. To fourth gear, just braking at the 2. Let the car just coast in. Get on the gas. Nice and close to this wall. Little lift just to get the car on the inside. Before this bridge, we're going to be just braking let the car just coast round, and then on the brakes, then back out a second. Nice and tight round here, and if you've got it right, you can exit full gas, no problem. So try and straighten this corner as much as you can, down to second gear. Nice and tight around here. Short shift to third. Just being patient around here. There's the wall. We just scraped the wall there a tiny bit. The car did wash out quite a bit there, so the tyres aren't quite up to temperature. Just take about 4 laps here to get these tyres up to temperature. We're braking at the 3, straight line. Cut this one. Try not to cut that one so much. Oh, cut that quite a bit there actually. But it does scrub off a bit of speed. You can see the delta there on the dashboard. That's going down because we cut that too much. Right, we'll try and pick up the pace a little bit now. To where the blue paint starts to curve. We're going to be braking down at third gear. We'll cut that one. Try not to cut this one so much. We're braking just at the 2. Again, on a flying lap, it doesn't matter if you touch the walls in the race. So a little lift round here, short shift to 4th. Get the car back over to the left. Braking, nice and patient. Little bit of gas, then back down a second. Get the car pointing where you want it to go. That's better. You want to try and straighten this as much as you possibly can. So 2 stages, down to second gear, nice and tight. Short shift to 3rd. Being patient with the throttle here. The car pointing where you want it to go, that's better. Because you carry that speed all the way up. As soon as you get on the gas there, flat out, you're going to carry that all the way up to this hairpin, which is probably going to be the overtaking place. We're braking just at the 3. We'll cut this one. Try not to cut this one so much. That's better. With the delta there, it'll start to go up now. It does. We'll keep an eye on the blue line straight ahead. When that starts to curve round, you just want to start braking just before it there. Down to third gear. We'll cut that one. Try not to cut that one so much. There we go. That was a 16.63. There's a little bit more time on the table there, but that's a nice conservative lap. You've just got to make sure that you don't overdrive in the places where I mentioned, namely this complex here and the complex just before you go back on to the oval. It's really, really easy just to push a little bit too much. Right, let's talk about pit entry and pit exit. Okay, so pit entry here at Charlotte ROVAL is actually quite tricky because you're braking, turning left, and you've got the cones to think about. But there's a couple of markings on the track that you can use. I'll show you these slow time now, then I'll show you what it looks like on a flying lap. So as you come around this turn, you'll see there's a tyre mark here in particular. This one right in front of us now that goes across the circuit. So on a flying lap, you can use that as your reference point to think, right, the pits are coming up now. So as soon as you see that, then you can start to duck under that blue line. And I use these 3 white dots here to brake. That's going to be my braking markers. Just after those, we're going to be down here and we're going to be braking with the pit limiter on hard. And if you do that, then you should get it stopped before the yellow cones, no problem at all. Okay, so we'll simulate a pit stop full speed now. So we're going to be looking at that one particular tyre mark that goes across the blue. There it is there. So we're going to start moving down after the 3. Hard on the brakes, pit limiter on. There we go. Got it stopped. So we'll talk about pit exit now. So you're going to be leaving the pits from here, wherever you are. And if you're lucky enough, your pit box is going to be far enough back that you can get the car over to the right-hand side. So you want to be approaching the pit exit from as far over here as you possibly can. And then releasing just at the blue line there. So nice and tight there. So one thing you've got to worry about here is when you come out of this corner, the cars that are on a flying lap are going to want to be where you are right now. So they won't come across the blue line at this point. You're just going to keep an eye on your relative and make sure that when you exit pit road, that you're not going to be coming out into oncoming traffic. Although you can't really do anything about it. You're not going to stop and give way. They should be keeping an eye on their relative as well. But if needs be, just take a wide line round here, let those guys through, and just filter back in when it's safe to do so. But that's the only tricky part about the pit exit here at Charlotte ROVAL. So there we go. That's Charlotte Roval done. Please let me know how you got on in the comments down below. What were your times before the guide? What were your times after? Did I help? Did I cover everything in this guide that you wanted me to cover? Next week, we go to Interlagos, which should be fun. The GT3 cars always offer good racing around there, so I'm really looking forward to that one. But good luck this week. Hope to see you on track. See you later. Cheers.